Welcome back, friends! I am so excited to share with you another video on embodiment to equip you with the skills and the tools to come home to your body, to learn the wisdom of your body and learn to listen to the goodness that your body is speaking to you. And today I'm going to share with you a skill that I developed that I share with many of my clients. This is something that I use on a daily basis that I find so helpful when I'm trying to make a decision or when I'm just trying to notice what's going on in my body and in my world. Oftentimes we're faced with big decisions that we have to make, and sometimes we don't know what the right answer is. We can sit down and we can get in our heads about these things. And what I've learned is that if I slow down and I listen to my body usually has the answer and can steer me towards what is right and what is wrong in almost every situation. Call it listening to your gut, call it learning to listen to that still small voice within. This is an embodiment practice that you can incorporate on a day-to-day basis, whether you are deconstructing your faith or deconstructing an ideology, trying to decide whether you should walk away from a toxic relationship or a toxic ideology, or simply trying to decide if this is a good next career move for you or not. You can use what I call embodied questioning for truth in any of these situations and in ethical decisions that you have to make all day long. Because what I have learned as a somatic and embodiment practitioner is that the body never lies to you. Your body speaks to you all day long and is wired to protect you, helping you make the right decisions and lead you to places that are good for you and away from places that are bad for you. So if we were to sit down and we were to think about what is actually happening in my body at any given moment, I want you to think about a moment in your past where maybe you met somebody or you came across something, you found something that you knew instantly, this is going to be good for me. The butterfly feelings, the excitement, it feels like every single bit of your body is vibrating with pleasure and comes alive because it recognizes this is something that is full of goodness. On the flip side, I want you to remember a moment in your past where you felt your stomach was turning in knots. It was twisted, there was tension, there was this bit in your gut that just felt like, I don't know what it is, and I might not be able to put words to it, but something is off, something is not right here. That's your body speaking to you. That's your body trying to protect you. And you might not have known what it was in the moment. Maybe this is a job opportunity that everything looked so good for you on paper. But when you stepped back, and hindsight 2020, you realized that there was something there that was off. And your body was speaking to you, trying to protect you. So I want to help you learn how to slow down, be in your body, and listen to your body to hear what your body is speaking to you in any given moment. And one of the ways that we can do this is a tool, like I said, that I developed called Embodied Questioning for Truth. There's 5 different steps to it, and I'm going to lead you through them right now. The first one is, what does it feel like in my body? What if I slow down and I take a moment to check in with myself? What is happening in my body in this moment? Am I feeling anxiety rising up? Okay, let's notice that. Where is that coming from? What is my anxiety trying to tell me? Am I feeling cold in my body? Maybe I'm getting shivers. Maybe my stomach is feeling twisted and in knots. Or maybe I'm feeling excitement. Maybe there's something in my body that is resonating with goodness and I'm getting excited and I feel motivated and there's something within me that just says, let's go, this is good. Stopping and noticing what's happening in my body as these feelings, these sensations, and these emotions arise, that's step 1 in embodied questioning for truth. Notice what's happening in your body. How does it feel in my body in this moment? Step 2 is, where is this coming from? Now, this is a really good question, especially when there's this little voice that pops up in my head or comes arising in my body. Where does this come from? And sometimes this can be a harder question to answer. We have to take a little bit of time peeling back the layers. And sometimes this is where it's really helpful to have somebody like an embodiment coach, maybe like myself, or somebody else who is a trusted friend and wise mentor, who you can have in your life as you work through this, who can be both objective, that steps back and is maybe able to help you see the things that you aren't able to see, as well as giving you the support when we're peeling back these layers of things that can be hard or maybe traumatic. But asking the question, where does this come from, is incredibly helpful. For me, as I was going through my own deconstruction of my faith and unpacking and healing from religious trauma, this was a really hard but really important question for me to ask. Where does this idea come from? And when we ask this question, as we are seeking embodied questioning for truth, it's really important to come at this question out of a posture of curiosity and not judgment. Because if we ask that question, where does that come from? With a tone of judgment, we shut down the conversation and the exploration right away. But if we come at this with a posture of curiosity, where does that come from? Why did I do this? Where did this ideology come into my life? Where did I absorb this messaging? Because let's be honest, all day long, we navigate the world, we walk through life, and we have different voices and different messages coming at us all the time. This could be a voice maybe of a classmate years ago. This could be something that we picked up because we walked down the magazine aisle and we saw something that caught our attention, that shifted the way that we felt about our bodies or our relationships, our worldview, or our faith. This could be a comment that somebody made that we are in relationship with, a family member, a friend, a former partner. Or maybe this is something that we saw in social media or in a commercial, a movie, or a song. All day long, we are bombarded with messages that impact the way that we perceive ourselves and the world around us. So having that conversation with ourselves as we're doing this internal inventory, as we're doing this reflection and this embodied questioning for truth, and asking ourselves with curiosity and not with judgment, where did this idea come from? Where did this belief come from? These are really important questions that we must ask, always with curiosity, never with judgment. The next question in our line of embodied questioning for truth is we ask ourselves, whose voice is speaking? And this goes hand in hand with the other question of where did I pick up this idea? Whose voice is speaking? And if we peel back the layers and we go a little deeper, we might notice that the voice that's speaking is the voice of fear. Maybe this is a voice of control. For me, again, and for many of you who I know are watching this, as I was going through my deconstruction journey, my deconstructing faith journey, and my healing my religious trauma, a lot of the questions that I was encountering and asking and the voices that I was encountering were voices of the church, were voices of fear, were voices of control. Sometimes they're voices of the hierarchy of power. Sometimes they weren't even voices that were coming from myself, but they were coming from everywhere else. I also worked with a client once who this beautiful voice that came out, this shy, timid voice asking, is this okay? That was a voice of a former version of herself. And so maybe that's a voice that you're going to encounter as well. There's going to be a voice from the former versions of who you are that might pop up and say, is this okay? Is this safe for us? So listen with compassion and as well with discernment to try to figure out whose voice is speaking here. Is this a voice that is going to help me, or is this a voice that's trying to put me in a box, that is trying to motivate me out of fear, trying to control my actions, my beliefs, my words, my body, my life? Those are the questions that we need to be asking when we're asking, whose voice is really speaking here? Maybe it's the voice of a parent, but maybe it's a voice from within. These are really important. The next line of questioning is this even true? Because again, we pick up these messages all day long. Sometimes they're not even rooted in truth. Sometimes they're not even rooted in truth at all. And so when we're able to ask that question, is this even true? Then we can decide sometimes right then and there, we don't need to ask any more questions. Oh, it's not true. It's not even helpful. It's not even true. We can toss it aside. And then we can move into a ritual of how to say goodbye to these things and let go in an embodied way, which is something we'll talk through in a future video. But that question of, is this even true, is a powerful and important question to ask as we seek embodied questioning for truth. The last question on this journey is, what is the fruit of it? And yes, if you come from a religious, faith-based Christian tradition, you're going to recognize this right away, because we believe that all day long we are sowing ideas that grow into either good things or poisonous things. Through our actions, through our thoughts, through our words, these all have consequences. And some of the consequences of this are good. Some of the consequences of the things that we think and do and believe and say all day long grow into beautiful, nourishing, life-giving things that heal people, help people, inspire people, move us forward into the best versions of who we are. But sometimes the thoughts, the words, the actions, and the ideas that we allow to take root within ourselves are actually quite ugly. Sometimes they're harmful. Sometimes they're toxic. Sometimes they're going to poison us or others. So stepping back and saying, what is the fruit of this? What is the result of this? And is this something that I want to allow to grow within me, within my relationships, within the world? Or is this something that I need to uproot and get rid of right away? What is the fruit of this? Is it making me kinder, more generous, more compassionate? Is it giving me love for God, for myself, for others? Is it propelling me towards things that are good and wholesome and healthy and life-giving? Or is it making me more fearful? Is it making me more judgmental? Is it making me turn my back on others? Am I gatekeeping as a result of this? Am I excluding others? Those are the things that we need to ask. That's the personal inventory that we need to take. And as we ask each one of these questions, we're noticing what is happening in the body in this moment. Do you feel an opening, a liberation, and a freedom with each question? Or are you feeling a tightness within? That's how we can know if this is something that is good for us, or if this is something that we need to walk away from that is going to poison us or do us harm. Your body is a truth teller. It has never lied to you. It gives you the answers to every single one of these questions if we were to stop and slow down and listen. Do we feel excitement with each question? Do we feel goodness, inspiration, motivation? Is there something within us that says yes? Because truth feels like something in the body. Or is your body saying, no, run, not safe, not good for us. This is going to do harm to us or to others, and it is not where we need to be right now. Listen to your body and start to, through these questioning, start to build up the trust with your body again. That your body is going to lead you to good things if we slow down and we listen. That's what embodied questioning for truth is built on. And I promise you, this is an amazing skill that you can bring to your day-to-day and all of your ethical decision making. It is a skill that you can put in your resource, your toolkit. It is something that you can use when you're needing to make big decisions in life, in career, in faith, and in relationships. This is something where your body was given to you with wisdom from the very beginning, and learning to listen and trust it is never going to lead you astray.